Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross. I'm so blessed and honored to be here with my friend, Jose Lucena, head of global mobility at Halliburton. Hey Jose, how you doing?
Hi Ben, I'm doing well. How about you? How's the
I'm
weather there?
It's hot. It's real hot. Like it's 77 in my office right now. My thermostat can't keep up with the requirements right now. It's very hot. How is it where you are?
Oh well, Houston, the weather is always the same, hot and humid, but thankfully in the office is pretty cold, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it's well, I hear actually it's warmer even in the Northeast. Where you're in Houston right now?
Right, Houston, yeah.
Yeah, get in the comments, y'all. Let us know who you are, where you are. Come check in with us. We're going to be talking about global mobility. We're going to be strategic, but we're also going to have some fun today because Jose is one of my favorite people to see at a conference and hang out with and have a little fun. So we might be going over his top 5 favorite cocktails and maybe doing a little overrated, underrated at the end. So peel yourself away from that Spain game right now and tune in. Get in the comments, y'all, and let's hear from you out there, okay? We got people checking in right now. Hello, Ben and Jose. What's up, LinkedIn user? Yeah, put your name out there. Let us know who it is. Some people's names aren't coming through here.
Once you say the gang, I was like, oh, the gang. I went to check. Spain is winning, so all good.
Are you a big World Cup fan? Do you have the World Cup fever?
Oh yeah. I actually went already to 2 games. I went to the Netherlands against Sweden and to Saudi and Cape Verde.
Oh, so you saw the Cape Verde goalkeeper who's just like been out of his mind.
Just
Yeah. It's been so fun. I went 2 days ago. I went to a game, Norway versus Ivory Coast here in Dallas, and so fun, so much fun. What was your biggest like moment or surprise or best memory from the game?
well, actually, the Netherlands ones against Sweden, it was awesome. We were rooting for Netherlands, and they did like 5 goals. Like it was like really, really good. Now the Saudi and Cape Verde, they went like 0-0, so both were different on their own way. And I'll say that the best thing is just to be there, just the energy, like when the teams enter the field, the flags, like all that moment.
Oh, the
That to me is
flags.
really awesome. Yeah.
The flags are, yeah, and the people start like for their country. It's like love
Yeah.
of country, love of the game, love each other. It's just a lot of love. I big fan. Get in the comments, y'all. Let us know what is your favorite. You got a favorite Jose memory of? Because I mean, hey, you're a memorable guy. My first Jose memory, okay, that I remember when I think of you. We were at FEM, and when we all had to get dressed up, right? We all had to get dressed up like it was a masquerade party,
Yeah.
right? And I'm doing the red carpet thing, and you have the coolest. It was my favorite, most memorable mask of the evening. Do you remember this mask?
Yeah, the one with
Like
the
tassels or something like that. He looked
yes.
like a lampshade, like a really chic lampshade. He was going around, and it was like, who's this mysterious guy? I was like, hey, I gotta get to know this guy. So I love them. I love the mask.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice costume. It was not my idea at all. My husband was the one that chose everything. He told me, "This is what you are going to wear. This is your mask. This is your cowboy hat. Like, do the full thing together." And I was like, "Okay, I got you."
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let's see here. We get in the comments, y'all. Farrell checking in. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Happy almost 4th. Excited for this conversation from just the right temperature in California. Yeah, the USA game yesterday was like 73 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
What do you think about the USA team since we're just talking World Cup a little bit right now? Do we have a
Oh,
chance?
they had been really good. Like they had surprised me the way that they had
Yeah.
played this cup. Like I'm really excited for US and for Mexico. I think Mexico is
Yes.
also doing good. So I feel those two teams may bring some surprises to the World Cup, because if you see, like, it has been full of surprises. Netherlands is already out, which I think it was going to go up to the end. Germany is already out, which I also thought it was going to be a strong contender. I'm actually hoping that Spain goes to the next round and that Portugal goes to the next round. Those are the two ones that I'm waiting to see.
Yes. And then if the US beats Belgium, we're going to have to beat one of those two teams, Portugal or Spain.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a tall order. for sure.
Well, everything can happen. At the end of the day, on the football, you never know until the games end. So that's why you need to play up to the end.
That's right. There's been a lot of last minute goals that have changed the outcome of games. Get in the comments, y'all. If you've been following the World Cup, check in with us. Let us know who you are, where you are. Mary Weaver's checking in. Hi, Ben and Jose. Looking forward to this episode today. Sharina, our producer, checking in. What's up, Sharina? Sharon, Mr. French 75 himself.
Hi, Sharon.
You know what? That brings up a good one. Maybe we're just going to get right into the top five here. We might just get right into the top five. Get in the comments, y'all. Right after we're done checking in with everybody, we're doing the top five because Sharon's bringing it up. It's Jose's top 5 favorite drinks. And I'll give you a hint. Mr. French 75 is on the list. Philadelphia is currently 102.
Oh my
gosh. Hades. Jose is always fun. Yes, Zeta's checking in. Gina says, that's my boss.
Hi, Gina.
Jose, why does everybody love you, Jose? What's up with that? How do I do
I don't
that?
know. I guess I'm a nice guy. Like I just try to always smile. I try to always see the bright things because you know that in global mobility, you can be smiling at one moment, but then the next 2 minutes there's a big crisis, and you need to get your other hat and try to make it happen.
Yeah, there's a saying, if we didn't laugh, we'd cry, right?
Yeah.
Marissa, woohoo, the man, the myth, the legend, mi amigo por siempre.
No bueno, Marisa. No bueno.
Robert Zeitz, hello from Boston to Cape Verde. What's up, Rob? Checking in. Killer humidity here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Hey, Jose, what's up, Jamie? How you doing? Jamie, good to see you on the show here. I owe you an email, I think, Jamie. Ben got to see the Viking row. I did. I saw some rowing. Woo!
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I saw it as well.
And Erling Haaland. What about Erling Haaland, huh? Is he for real or
He's
what?
He's a really good player. Like his stats like are really good. Like all the goals that he has. He's actually right now number one alongside Messi on the top scorer for the World Cup.
Yeah, he's something else. Hey, get in the comments, y'all. Put your favorite cocktail. If you were gonna have a drink with Jose and me right now, it's getting towards happy hour on the East Coast. What would you pour out right now? Jamie's saying old fashioned. Get in there with your drinks there. Let me see. I know Daisy on my team's got an opinion about this. So excited to have Jose on the show. You gave Daisy a little bit of a hard time at FEM, and we've been talking about it ever since.
It's not a hard time. It's just that I'm still waiting for her to show me the messages that she sent me asking me to be on the show. Where are the messages?
Where are the messages, Daisy? I have no messages,
are?
Daisy. Where are the messages? I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Those were my favorite memories, and I got an award that night, and it's still my favorite memory. Sharon, Rob Zeitz checking in. Marina checking in. Hello. What's up, Marina? I met Marina when I was down in Houston. Let's see. Chris Bladel, Milwaukee's best? Maybe. Hey, Jose, looking forward to this episode. What's up, Jillian? Jose is always dressed to impress. Yes, for sure. Look at this. What do we think about the red card in yesterday's game? Yes. What did you think about the red card on Balogun for the U.S.?
I don't know. I think to be fair, like it makes sense at that moment, but also I don't trust when they need to go and check the bar, and I feel that we are taking from the referees like the actual I'll say authority for them to go and to make their judgment. And sometimes the bar judgment I don't think is the best judgment, but at the end of the day, hopefully that doesn't affect on the next game.
Yeah, I think he's missing the next game, but hopefully they don't take like 2 games. There is a chance, I think, that the U.S. is allowed to, appeal it maybe, but I'm not confident they would win something like that. So, Morris said, big hats and laughs at Game Show Studio Houston. Yes, being sprayed together with foam and beat the bomb. Wow, good times. Nathan Brinker checking in. The heat is on. Yes, it is, Nathan.
It is.
Not a memory, but he always smells so good. What's your favorite cologne, Jose?
I actually wear Santal 33 from Le Labo. That's my favorite one, and I also use. They have another one. Oh, I blank out on the name, but they matcha and Santal 33. Those are the two that I'm using right now, and they are both from Lelabo. That's a New York French company.
Sharina, did we get the names of those? Can we put that? Did you get them? Sharina's gonna research those because I'm always looking for a good cologne suggestion. You love what's that? La Lobo? Did I say that
Yep.
right? I'll try to muddle through
Yeah,
that.
it's awesome. It's really good. And the good thing about them is that you go to, they have a different, there's a fragrance that is just for that city, and you can only buy it on that city. So, and you can get them all in September. That's the only month that all stores sell all. But if you don't get it in September, the only way for you, for example, to have the New York one will be to go to New York. To have the Paris one, you need to go to Paris. So that's also pretty awesome of them.
I love that. So if I'm visiting a city, I should go buy the cologne there because it's like limited edition to that city.
But not necessarily. You can go and see how it smells because it might not be the a good fit for you. I had tried in several cities and not necessarily the smell likes. I like the smell. So far, the only one that I do love is the one from Paris that's called Vanille 41. Every time it gets to September, because I haven't been to Paris yet, I get that one because it's really good.
Very nice. And they print your name on the label?
Yes, they put your name on the label and they made it there for you. It's not that you go and it's ready. No, they actually mix it there and create it for you. So that's
That's
also a
wild.
nice thing to do.
What does that run me over here? What's that? What does something like that cost? Sharina, small bottles, $100. We'll start small. We'll start baby steps. We'll start small. Speaking of sweet, Miriam, what's going on? Good to see Miriam. We love Miriam, friend of the program here. Nathan saying favorite drink right now. If he was hanging out with Jose right now, would be Camus.
That's part
Okay.
of the league. That's a top
Okay.
contender.
It's a contender, yeah. What else is on the list? Jana says, howdy y'all mojito time. Ooh, I love a
Ooh,
good mojito. Margaritas in here, of course, definitely. Yeah,
margarita is always a good drink.
people are already hanging out. They're like, when are we meeting for drinks? Mary says limoncello spritz would be nice in the warm. Have you heard of a limoncello spritz?
I haven't, but it actually sounds good.
Yeah, I would definitely vibe with that. Daisy says an espresso martini with Jose, a little afternoon pick me up. That's code for Daisy's going to make an espresso martini right now in the break room while I'm over here. That's what happens. We don't supervise people. They just go make martinis in the break room. No, we're a big fan of espresso martinis here in the office. Hey, let's do your top five real quick before we get into all the mobility serious stuff. Let's do it. Jose's top five drinks. Let's start with number five. Can we start with number five and work our way down here? Number five.
Number five will be Hugo Spritz.
Oh, Hugo Spritz. Okay.
Yes, that will be
Okay.
number five.
Number five is a Hugo Spritz. Now, what makes this different from, say, an Aperol Spritz?
I can stand Aperol. The flavor of the Aperol, the actual Aperol mix that they use, I don't like it. So that's what make it different. That it actually tastes good for me.
It's kind of bitter.
Everyone edges. Everyone has their own taste, but to me, Hugo Spritz is more lighter and sweet. The Aperol is too bitter for me.
Okay. Okay. Number five is a Hugo Spritz. How do you make a Hugo Spritz?
No idea. I
No
just order it.
idea. Excuse me. One Hugo Spritz. That's how you make a
I
Hugo.
just order. Now I know how to make the number one. That one I know, and I can get you like
Yeah.
the whole instructions. But number five, I just order it.
Just order. All right. Number four. What's number four, Jose?
Number four will be close to the espresso martini, but it will be like the Mexican slash Spain version, the carajillo.
Yes. Carajillo.
Yeah.
This is such an underrated drink right here. Everybody is on espresso martinis, but when I had a Carajillo, I'm like, this is like way better than an espresso martini.
And it always depends because you had two versions. You had the Mexican and the Spain one. Both versions are really good, but what it makes it different is the liquor that they use. Like Mexican, usually they use like the liquor 43. On the Spain one, they had something similar, and they usually on the Spain one they do like some sort of like orange like bitters that they put on it, so it makes it a little bit different. So that's why I like it. I like both versions.
Yeah, I'm used to the one with the liquor 43, which is
Mm-hmm.
also beautiful because you don't have to do anything. You could just take a coffee, you could take an espresso, you could take,
True.
what I like to do, honestly, I brew a pot of coffee in the morning. Whatever I don't drink at the end, I go in the afternoon. I just use that, boom, throw that in there, throw a little liquor 43. If I'm feeling crazy, I'll shake it, but I'm not feeling crazy. I'm a man of action. I'm like, let's go. And you're in business. It's a two ingredient drink. You can't beat that.
Agree.
Farrell says Carajillo with mezcal.
Ooh, that's probably a good one.
Yeah, yeah. It needs a little of that sweetness though. I think you gotta tell me how that sweetness is coming in. Sharon says Hugo Spritz cubes, four ice cubes, elderflower liqueur, Saint Germain, 1 ounce seltzer or sparkling water, 2 ounces prosecco, 6 ounces lime, 3 ounces mint.
See, we
Yes.
are, we had now the receipt.
I like the mint. I don't know if I would put the seltzer in there. Let's just go more prosecco. Like, who
Yeah.
needs? Come on, what are we doing, Sharon? Big hug, Sharon. All right, that's number 4. What's number 3?
Number three will be red wine and especially Camos. I love Camos.
Did you know Camus is a great selection? I was at a Buc-ee's over the weekend. I went to Austin to see my little baby niece. I stopped at Buc-ee's. I walked through the door. The first thing I see is Camus. They're selling Camus
What?
at Buc-ee's.
Does he have the beaver on it?
It's no beaver. It was like $69. They had the Camus, then they had like a special Camus, and then they had the Bonanza, which if it's between paychecks or
Yeah.
something, you gotta,
Yeah.
get that little Bonanza, that cheap Camus, hey, we all do it, right? Now
You
Camus,
get it.
great, great
You get
choice.
it cheaper. You get the Camos cheaper on HB.
HEB?
HEB. Yeah.
Okay. What's Camus going for HEB?
Last time I saw it, it was 55.
Wow, that's actually pretty good
Yeah.
price right there.
It was a really good price.
Yeah, we're gonna stock up. Maybe even get a case price on that or something. All right, Camus. So a nice hearty red wine with maybe a steak or something or what?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Always a steak dinner.
Okay. What's your favorite cut of steak, by the way?
I'm usually between the filet mignon and the ribeye. Usually,
Mm.
I do either one or the other.
I love that. Same, same, same. I've been toying with this. Do you cook these steaks or you just eat them out?
My husband does the cooking. I cook some things, but he does the cooking. I usually eat them out.
Okay, so I've been playing with this steak. So I will pat it dry. A fillet, I will pat
Uh-huh.
it dry. I will salt it heavily on both sides. I'll put it back in the fridge for a day, maybe 2 days, and let it really
Okay.
dry out, almost to the point
Mhm.
where you're like, okay, this thing's looking kind of funky. It's kind of brown. It's kind of whatever. And then you can pan sear it right there in your kitchen on cast iron or whatever. It has the best crust, and on the inside, it's like medium rare. Oh my gosh. And if you're feeling really crazy, throw some shallots around that thing, reduce it with a little bit of wine, put a dollop of Dijon in there, and all of a sudden now you've got with some cracked, some heavy cracked black pepper. All of a sudden you have this au poivre sauce that's just to die for. Oh my gosh. Pair that
Now
with
I
a
know.
Camus.
Next time I'm there, steaks in your house.
You come over, bring your husband, everybody come over, whatever. I'll cook for y'all, especially if my wife's out of town because I'm not allowed to entertain when she's around, but she's out for 3 weeks. So if you're in town, hey, I got you. Let's see. I'm waiting for when it hits Costco. Marina says, yeah. What about Silver Oak cab? Silver Oak's a nice choice.
It's a really nice choice as well. Like it's the silver oak cap. Like the Foss is also a nice cap. That's also one of my to go.
Yeah, we're talking top 5 favorite cocktails right now. Favorite drinks with Jose. We're on number 3 is Camus. What's number 2?
Champagne, especially Vivo Click.
Mm, yes.
You cannot go
Oof.
wrong with bubbles. Like you never can go wrong with bubbles.
No, but you can go expensive with bubbles. You
Oh
can.
yeah, for sure, for sure. You can go expensive with bubbles. Like you need to control yourselves. That's why That's why I like one that is middle of the ground, like the Vivo Click. It's not really expensive. It's also not that cheap, and you can get it, and it's a really nice. The rosé or the regular versions, they are really nice and light.
I love that choice. We had a Christmas party here in the office, and we had to stock up on a lot. And so I went to Total Wine and had this phenomenal lady help me. She put me onto this label called Barasco. Barasco. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I think it's Spanish, and they make a rosé, they make a prosecco, they make a typical sparkling, but
Mhm.
phenomenal. I mean, you're talking about maybe
Mm.
$12 to $20 a bottle,
Oh,
and
it's not
and
bad at all.
and the label it's like shimmery gold or shimmery silver, so it's like very party and festive. Oh, to die for. Phenomenal. Janice saying, big Napa big cabs are the best. Still plugging Costco. Love it. Still plugging Costco. All right, number one, Jose.
Number one will be the French 75.
Ooh,
Yeah,
elegant.
that
What
that
what
that,
is a
that
French 75?
So basically, the French 75 will be gin, will be champagne, and will be like a little bit of lime juice and simple syrup. So that's the way that you do it. I usually like to do it either with Hendrix or with Empress gin. And the way and why with Empress? Because Empress, you will get it like purple. That's my favorite color. So when you are drinking on the champagne glass, because it needs to be on a flute. Like sometimes you get it on a martini glass. Whenever I get it like that, I know that they don't know how to do it because it needs to be on a flute so you get the bubbles on it. So that will be the totally number one for me.
French 75 served in a champagne flute. And what was
Correct.
the ingredient that turns it purple?
If you do Empress gin, Empress gin is like a purple bottle of gin. So the gin, when you look at it, is
Oh,
purple. So that make it purple. And I think the Bombay Sapphire also make it purple as well. Those two you can get it purple, but I usually do the Empress because I like how it tastes.
wow. That's a killer list, honestly. And I feel like you could course that thing out through a night. Like you have a drink for every phase, of the evening.
Yes.
Got me excited here. It's a 3-day weekend here coming up. Got me excited here. This is awesome, Jose. Yes,
We
yes.
start.
We'll get
We
back to
start with
this.
the like the happy favorite things at the moment. Now we can get to the more serious
Yes,
conversation topics.
very serious now. All of a sudden, very serious. Yeah, get in the comments, y'all. Let us know what we missed here. We'll revisit this at the end. I want to talk a little bit about your journey and then the journey of global mobility as a whole. So start me off real quick for those of you who don't know, and I don't know this story. How did you end up in this seat in global mobility?
So I started in Halliburton 18 years ago as an intern. So I was back in my home country in Venezuela. I am at that time I was already an accountant because I was doing 2 degrees at the same time. I was doing accountant and I was doing human resources. So I was already an accountant, but I decided that I wanted to finish human resources as well. I didn't want to start working without finishing human resources because I did accountant because I like numbers, but human resources, I like it more like to work with people, like the whole human touch that they brought to the table. So my name, since I always have like, back in the day, and I think a little bit, I always been a little bit of a nerd. So I have like really good grades. So the university send lists of names to all these big companies, Halliburton included, and they call me because they say we saw that you were the top of at the top of the list on the list of interns that we got for your university, and they also listed that you are an accountant. Would you be able to come here and get an interview with us? And I was like, yes, sure. Actually, the person that interviewed me and my first supervisor, she's still in Halliburton with me. Like we had been working together, supervisor and now co-worker relationship for several years together. She interviewed me, and at that time it was to do social development. So I entered in social development. And why social development? That's something similar like RSC. So basically, in order to work in Venezuela with the government, because at that, like oil and gas is managed only by the state company, you needed to do some social projects in the country. So they needed somebody that knew how to manage the social funds, like to all the calculations that we needed to do for the different contracts that we have, and also to help finding providers to build schools, uh, going to the schools to deliver donations and all of those stuff. So they hire me on that role. I will say that I stay on that role for around 1 year. Well, I did an internship. My internship ended, and 1 month later they called me to hire me as a supply chain specialist for social development, because I already knew how to do social development. So I started in supply chain in Halliburton, but for social development. I
When
even seated with them.
when you were doing your internship, was it here in the States or was it in Venezuela?
No, in Venezuela. In
Oh
Venezuela,
wow.
everything that I'm speaking was in Venezuela, and I stayed like in supply chain for about half a year, and then there was a position in social development. They got me to that role, and then social development was moved to human resources, like same manager, same structure. And then they decided, you know what, there's social development is not that big anymore. You guys can do things in human resources as well. So I started supporting talent acquisition. Still, people that I recruit is right now is still working here on global roles, and they are now here in Houston. So there's a lot of people that I recruited that is here. I did training and development. So I used to do the new employee orientation trainings in Halliburton, Venezuela. I did labor relations. I will say that employee relations was, I feel, the one that I didn't like the most, because it's really hard to dismiss people. So I feel that even right now that I need to manage it sometimes in mobility is different, because we still need to take care of the person and get it back to their home country. So at least I can still feel that I'm part of the process. And I always tell them, we brought you here. We made sure that you go back, and we will treat you the same way. Like, we are not changing our treatment just because you are being separated of the company. So I think that's the main difference, because when I was in Venezuela supporting employee relations, it was local employees. So whenever I had to get them those news, that was it. Like, I was just giving the news.
Was that like the
Now
biggest part of the job though? I mean, like what percentage of the job of the employee relations job was dismissing people?
in Venezuela, it was, I'll say, 50% was that, and the other 50% was managing the unions, because we had unions there, and all of those investigation topics, etc. But
Mm.
50% wasn't. But I wasn't. Thankfully, I always had been on the mentality that whenever they needed someone, I say I can help. So that's why I wasn't doing fully that. I was doing several things at the same time, and one of those things was supporting international HR, because I was one of the people that knew English the best. So they say, you know what, he knows how to speak English. We have a lot of Americans, a lot of people from the UK. So let them help them. And then the opportunity opened up, like I will say, at my second year at Halliburton. And they got me international HR. And I've been on international HR / global mobility since 16 years, like of the 18 years that I've been in Halliburton, because it's my only company. I've been 16 years doing international HR / mobility. They moved. I had been moved myself, so I moved to Panama. I did a short-term assignment in Canada, so I live in Calgary for 1 year. Beautiful country,
Wow.
beautiful, beautiful country. Love the weather. People was like, "Are you crazy? You will be frozen there." I was like, I was so happy with the weather. Like,
Really?
and love my Canadian people. Canadian people, oh my god, they are awesome, amazing. Like, I feel
Yeah.
that my top two people will be Canadian and Texans. Like,
Ah, yeah.
and you may think that they are not similar, but they are. They are
They
really similar.
are.
I feel, yes.
One of my favorite places to go is the Fort Worth Stockyards, where they have like the
Oh,
cattle drives and the rodeo and all
okay.
that stuff. And one of the bars there is a rodeo bar. And if you go in the summer, when it's blistering hot, and you go in to get some air conditioning and a beer, and on the TV they're showing the rodeo, and you know where the rodeo goes in the middle of summer? It goes to Canada. It
Yes,
goes actually
the stampede,
to
the stampede.
the Stampede. It
It's
goes to
called the
Calgary.
stampede. Yes.
Yeah, and it goes to Calgary, and they're all up there, and they're all just cowboys, just up there, just like they are here. It's crazy how much we have in common with people that we think we have nothing in common with.
Yeah, no, no, really, like I'll say, like in Canada, I remember I asked for an address, and people leave everything that they were doing just to help me. Here in Texas, I ask somebody something, and I get the nicest responses. I feel that whatever misconception or things that people may think about Texas is totally wrong. I love my Texas people and I love my Canadian people. Actually, Halliburton is this week we are 100 years in Canada. So I told the HR manager from Canada, she's one of my friends, where is my invitation? Similar with Daisy, where are the messages?
Where are the
was
messages?
like, where? Yeah, I was like, where is my invitation, Stephanie? I'm like half Canadian. And she's like, you are, Jose. You are an honorary Canadian.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's fantastic. It has a lot probably to do with you too, and your warm heart and everything. But it also reminds me of all the folks that are coming to visit right now for the World Cup and the incredible, stuff I'm seeing on Instagram about the experiences these folks are having, whether it be from Scotland or it be from Japan or whatever, and they're coming over here and they're trying Texas barbecue, or they're hanging out in the pubs in Boston, or tacos or whatever they're trying, and it's just everyone's just thrilled, honestly, and it's such a good look for the U.S. right now, and it's great having them here too, because you see them partying downtown, and like it's so nice when just I don't know, they're just great. They're great people. Yeah, loving all the TNC shout outs for sure. Love it. Rob Zeitz is saying happy day after Canada Day.
Yes, yes, it was July 1st. Happy Canada Day.
Sharon's adding one. She said, add a French 76 with vodka instead of gin.
She learned that from me in one of her parties. I told them French 76 is with vodka.
I love it. So now you've been 16 years in
Yes.
that role, in that
And
capacity.
I did several roles within mobility. So I started since the smallest role. So I was like an specialist. I was handling all like the manual work, like doing drafting the offers, requesting the visas, the medicals, all of that. Then I got promoted to a global mobility coordinator. That was the name that we had at that time. So I was managing the moves, talking to the employees, doing everything like the different moves of my employees. Only mobility at the time. I didn't touch relocation at the time. It was only mobility, because for us we have it like separated. Like we have the global mobility department and the relocation department at that time. Now it's just one department, but at that moment it was two departments. So mobility did some things, relocation did other things. So I was managing at the time. I did Latin America. I was managing all moves within Latin America. Then when the Canada opportunity came, they needed somebody to do the maternity leave of the Canadian advisor, because in Canada is 1 year. So they told me, would you be open to go? We know that you have your husband, etc. So I was like, I'm more than open to go. Like that's an opportunity that I cannot miss. And he was like, yes, like if it's something that can get your career to advance, do it. And he was at that time studying in Panama. He's a chef, so he studied international cuisine. So he was studying at that time. He was like, that I'm studying here, so we're good. He did visit me and stay with me at least for 1 month there in Canada. But then I was managing not only Latin America but Canada. So I was doing all Latin America and all my Canadian people. Then the opportunity came to do the lead for Latin America and Canada. So I became the lead. So I was leading all the advisors, managing all the projects, etc. And I'll say that I spent like that around 4 years. And then the opportunity to be the Western Hemisphere manager arrived. They asked me if I would be interested in moving to Houston. I say yes. And I spent doing that role, I'll say around 3 and 4 years, until they got me the global head role. And when they got me the global head role, that's when I also got the relocation role. So that's when I started fully managing global mobility and relocation.
And what is the difference, or how is it kind of separated between global mobility and relocation? Because we often use these interchangeably.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good question. So the way that we have it designed in our company, the relocation experience or the relocation team manage everything related with your actual move, like household goods, temporary accommodations, destination services, cultural orientation, dual career, everything that is related with you moving from point A to point B. Meanwhile, the global mobility team manage your actual move. Like they are your HR people during your whole time. So the advisor is the one that reviews the offer, supports the manager with the numbers for the offer, like give the manager advice. This is the way. This is a good candidate. This is not a good candidate, etc. Talks to the employee and explain everything to the employee, make sure that our HR service center initiates the medicals, the visa, the tax orientation, and basically handholds that employee until we are able to say, you know what, we got everything ready for you. You are already working with relocation. You already had your visa, your medicals. All is ready. We can confirm that we can do the local separation in your current country. Your effective day will be this day. And even afterwards, the mobility team still remains being the advisor of the employee. So if there is any salary change, we need to approve. If there is any, let's say, separation process, we are the ones that needs to have the call with the employee. We need to make sure that the employee passes through the relocation process, etc. So that's the main difference. That's the way that we have it separated here.
That is a really great explanation because honestly, we use this so interchangeably, and I know that global mobility is more inclusive than just relocation because you have visa and all the things, but talking about how you separate from one entity and go to another entity and the medical aspect of things, that's something that frankly we just don't talk about much. We really don't think about that quite a
And
bit.
to be honest, I'll say they can be their own separate world, but they can also be together. Like when I think global mobility, I think on the whole experience. I think on everything that you need to get the employee to where it needs to be, not only physically, but also mentally and also on their career. It's not only moving people for the sake of moving people, it's moving people because that makes sense for the career of the employee and that also makes sense for the company because
Yeah.
we are not just filling a spot, we are filling the spot with the best person that we had for that spot.
Get in the comments, y'all. We're talking about relocation. We're talking about mobility, global mobility with Jose Lucena, the head of mobility for Halliburton. Get in the comments if you got questions for him. This is really interesting. I want to talk a little bit about what people might be missing in your opinion. You've got this phenomenal years of tenure here at Halliburton, and it seems like such a robust program, right? I mean, you talked about kind of the hemispheres and then all the different layers, and it seems like a really robust, big program. What is the opportunity maybe that some companies might be missing when thinking about global mobility from a strategic perspective?
So I think one of the things that I can say that sometimes I've been also guilty of it is that we try to think global mobility on a big complex way. Like we try to think that, oh, this is so complicated. And to me, when something is so complex that you take more than 3 minutes to explain it, it becomes a hassle. It's something that is really not for you. To me, the best programs, and that's what I'm trying to do with my program, are simple enough that the employees are able to understand them immediately as soon as you explain to them. And we also give the business flexibility because you also have this word, let's just say, what is more important, employee experience or cost? Like, do we say cost? But if we say cost, then we are going to be hurting the employees. No. What you need to do, you need to find the balance. Like, yes, employee experience is important, but if that's the only thing that you are thinking about, the program is going to become really complex. So that's
Yeah.
why you need to find a balance between what's good for the employee, but that's also what's good for the business. And you need to, it's a delicate balance. Like, and you sometimes need to understand when to push and when to stop, when to, you know what, for the moment
Yeah.
we are good, let's keep it that way.
It reminds me of talking about champagne, right? It's like you can spend as much as you want to spend on some
Exactly.
champagne. So if
Exactly.
employee experience is the only thing that's driving your decision making, you're going to be buying $1,000 bottles of champagne when a
Correct.
$50 bottle of Vouv might just do it for you, you know? Yeah.
And you are telling it on a simple way, but that's the thing. That's the way that we need to think. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, and even some small fixes that you can do are small. You don't need a lot of investment for that. And as soon as you do it, employees are happy. And it can be something as easy as to make sure that you get an email that now with AI that gets like a review of the case and send them an update every week. And with that, they know what is happening with the case every week. Something like that, that they say, you know what? I know what is happening. I'm not frustrated. I know where I'm going. I know what I need. So sometimes, and that's another thing that I try to get with my team and for them to understand is that because sometimes oh, people is too complicated. And I'm like, no, they are just asking to be informed. Like
Mhm.
even if what they need to hear is like your visa is still in process, we are still expecting that it will take 3 more months. As long as we give them every 2 weeks an update, they are happy because they feel that okay, they are taking care of me. But if you just tell them, and that happened to me. I remember when I got my offer to come to the US. Basically, the email that I got from my immigration vendor at that time is like your visa can take any time between 1 month to 6 months. That's it. And I didn't got any communications until my visa was ready.
Mm. How did
It's
that feel for
different.
you? Did that work for you from a communication cadence?
In my case, I read everything. So I, as soon as I read it, I okay, perfect. But I had some employees that they are not going to read a 100 words email or PDF, that they need to actually get something simple or that they actually need to be communicated. That was one of the things that I talked to the team. Hey, we need to improve this. Like this needs to be better. In my case, I knew global mobility. I knew what was happening. But if it's somebody that doesn't know global mobility and
Right.
doesn't know what is happening, they will be like, oh, nobody's doing nothing for me. Like they just sent me an email
Hmm.
6 months ago and that's it.
Yeah.
And no,
Yeah.
you have the immigration team working really hard for them to get the visa. It's just that they don't know it.
Yeah. Get in the comments, y'all. Let us know what questions you have for Jose. This is super interesting. Daisy says, show me the messages, Jose. Just kidding, Daisy. Sharina got a great question there. Mark's got a question here. Zeta, real quick. Zeta over here says, Zeta here, great way to manage your program, very holistic way. I had not thought of this description to differentiate between relocation and global mobility. Huh. Yeah, I thought it was pretty clever. I think we really have to be better as an industry. And this is one thing that I've talked to this is one thing that I've talked to WERC about. It's like, how do we in a simple way explain what we do and the value of what we do so that it resonates, and not only resonates, really it gets funding, right? It gets
Agree.
supported, you know. So,
Agree. And to be honest, like if you think about it, like for example, in my case, and I always get me as an example. So when I was brought here to the US. They did a US managerial visa, and to be like the L1 managerial. And to be honest, like when I got to the consulate and they interviewed me, and they it was just one question that they asked me: "What do you do?" And I started explaining about global mobility. I think he stopped me at 20 seconds. He was like, "You're good, approved. Just show me." I was with my husband. Just show me your marriage certificate. You are married. And I was like, yes, here it is. Okay, perfect, approved. But that's something that even as a function, when they were doing my green card, the way that my letter was drafted was based on the function, on the global mobility function, because right now you and I can see, oh, there's a lot of global mobility professionals, there's a lot of relocation professionals, but still it's something that is not really known outside. Like
right.
for people it's still HR.
Yeah, nobody
So
knows.
exactly. So the concerns of it, global mobility was that. And even when you say relocation, when they think in relocation, they only think in household goods. And
Right.
to me, yes, household goods is a part of the relocation process, but it's not the only thing that the relocation team does. Like my relocation team actually advise the business whenever they need, they don't know what package to offer a person. They talk to them. They review what type of position is this. Like how much do you have in the budget? Like, how senior is going to be this employee? Well, depending on this will be the best package. This will be the best fit. And this is more than just the household good package. This includes like all the things that an employee will get within that relocation package. So that's something that, to me, you're right. Like, for most of the people, when you say global mobility, they don't know what you are talking about. The only
Yeah.
people that actually knows is the people in the industry, but outside the industry, even within HR, sometimes you get like, huh, what's that? And if there are companies that don't really have an international program, they will see it more as a relocation process than as global mobility. So to your point, to me, it will be also important, not only for WRC, but for other organizations over there, to try and to get global mobility topics, or try to get presence on this big HR conference,
Yeah.
so the general HR population knows what does mobility do.
Yeah, I agree. So at the SHRM level or some of these other,
True.
HR conferences like
Hmm.
you mentioned getting shot with foam at. Yeah, all right, let's keep it going here. We got a great question. Get in the comments here. Global mobility job description. I move people's lives around. Yes. Yeah, I always say it's the movement of people for work. That's what I always say. Let's see here. Mark Raby says, can employees request a relocation and get on a list for future consideration for an opening, or is it manager led? Oh, what an interesting question, Mark. Ed
So that,
Halliburton.
that 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 to me, that always depend on the company. So all
Hmm.
companies have the different ways to manage the program. But I'll say in our case, we always have say to our employees that they are the owners of their own future, and they are the owners of their career. So here, whenever we post a position, no matter where the position is, our employees can apply. And obviously, sometimes it will depend. Like, is there a better candidate? Maybe. If there is not a better candidate, then most likely it's going to be picked. Another case, it might need that, yes, we will like to get you there, but then there's visa constraints, and there could be nationality constraints. But
Right.
at the end of the day, there's a lot of moves in the company that are self-managed. Like, and when I say self-managed, is that the employee raises their hand, says, hey, I want to do that, and we as a company give them the opportunity, and we give them the relocation package. And when you were saying like that, you say that it's moving people forward, I understand that that's the concept, and that could be the concept. But to me, it's not only about work. Like, to me, you need to see it that the purpose of the global mobility thing and the relocation thing will be to enable the business to move the talent where the talent is needed. Because if you only say that is to move people forward, uh, that's not what we do. That I will say that's the it's a good way of saying it for somebody that doesn't know nothing. But if we want to be more strategic, and if we want for people to think, oh, actually, we need to make sure that mobility is there, is to understand that when mobility is done well, it becomes a business enabler. We are helping
Right.
the business to move forward, and not just to an administrative task that we are moving,
Right.
Jose, from point A to point B.
No, you're right. You're right. My description really sounded like it was more for the benefit of the person. When you're right, it's more for the benefit of the business, and it's about what the business needs are. And so I was playing with definitions like this because I was in a working group around this for WERC, and what I thought of, because I'm a big fan of imagery, and
Yes.
metaphors, right? It's like if people are the lifeblood of a business, then mobility is the heart that pumps it.
Oh my God, I love that.
Oh, right. You got to get it to
That's
all the
a really,
extremities,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
Hey,
that's a really, really, really good analogy. I really love that. That's really good.
thank you. You can use
You
that. That's
should
that's
you
free
should
right
tell
there.
you should tell WRC to use that quote in one of the minutes that they sing every week, highlighting mobility, etc.
Well, thank you, Jose. I'm happy. I'll take this as your formal nomination of that quote there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll clip that and send it to Anupam. Jamie's got a follow up question here for you. He says, Mark Raby, I like this question. As a follow up, would they get a benefits package? So if an employee requests a relocation or got on a list for future consideration, would they get a package, or would it be on them to make that happen?
No, if we selected that employee, the employee will get a relocation package. Like
Yeah.
it all depends on being selected. Like it's always the case. The only time where that might not happen is, let's just say that we really don't have any positions, we really don't have any vacancies, but for some personal reason that employee needs to move to another location, to another country, something personal, we might give a reduced package, because then in that case, it's not really the need of the business, it's your need. We can still accommodate you, we can still support you on the cases that we can, but for that reason we cannot give like the full package.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Good questions, y'all. Get in the comments, y'all. If you have any more questions, we probably have time for one more. Oh my goodness, Sharina's got a question. Love super producer Sharina over here, always thinking. She says, Jose, what was your first impression when you met for the first time? Well, I'll go first. You want to
Okay.
go first? No, you go first.
No,
You
no,
go
go
first.
first. No,
So,
no,
no,
go first. Go first. Go
well, I
first.
was just saying. I mean, I kind of already said, but you had this really cool. And I don't know if it's the first time we met, but it was my first memory, I'll say, of meeting you. Right, my first that comes to mind. Right, was this really cool mask that he had on, and this cowboy hat, and like it worked, and it was kind of mysterious, and it was like, okay, but it was kind of fashion forward, and it was different. It was avant-garde too, right? Which I always respect, because people can take like the typical way, right? And just say, okay, I'll
Hmm.
wear the mask, but it's gonna be off a table somewhere, and I'll just grab it and put it on. But then there was some intentionality and some expression around it, and it just caught my eye, and I was like, okay, I like people who take chances with their self-expression.
And I'll say the first time that I met you was actually, I think it was before that, probably 1 year before, but we didn't really talk to each other. But you were interviewing, I think you were interviewing, you know, in the FEN conference that you get the stand there and start talking to people. If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, you were interviewing Marian. So I stayed there. I stayed there to see you, and you were joking with her and everything. And that was the first time that I actually remember seeing you.
Yes, yes. Now that you say that, okay, because I remember, well, first of all, I think that was the first time maybe I interviewed her, and she was saying
Oh,
it was,
okay.
it was memorable for her and everything. It was memorable for me, and it started a friendship that we kind of had. But yes, because then after that, I remember you saying, "How come you always interview Miriam? How come you interview this one? How come you?"
Yeah.
And then we're like, "No, we want to interview. Please be on the show." And it was just an
No, no, no.
oversight on my
That's when
part.
Daisy said that she sent messages to me that I'm still waiting for the messages.
I think they're stuck in our firewall. We have a very strong firewall here at Glomo, is what it is. Yeah, no, that's great. I love the first impression question. Thanks, Sharina, for putting us on the spot with the first impressions are funny. I
They
find
are.
I find that I don't always have a great first impression. I find that people are when the first time their first impression of me is usually kind of mixed. I don't know what that
I
says,
don't,
but
I, I don't think so. And if it's a mix, it's because there's a misconception or something happened that made it seem that way. But no, you are really likable.
oh, thank you. I appreciate. I feel like I'm more of an acquired taste. I'm like a, I don't know, maybe Aperol spritz. Anyway, Zeta
Well,
said,
you know what? Let's think April Sprig is Daisy with her messages.
Zeta says this is the tagline I'm working on. Okay, let's hear it, Zeta. Partner with the business to strategically position global talent to drive growth and fulfill unmet organizational needs. Build a resilient workforce. How does that serve us? What do you think? I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's really, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really good. Uh, I'll say that with the global talent, I feel that I like it, but it needs to have something about mobility there. Just because when saying global talent, I feel that it can be seen more on a talent management role or, than the global mobility role. So that will be the only caveat that I will say. But I do like it.
Yeah, and I like the fact there's two things I like here. The driving growth shows that there's upside to this. There's a
Mhm.
return on the investment. And the second thing I like is the fulfilling unmet organizational needs. Says basically, hey, we have a vacancy over here that someone needs to
Mhm.
fill. We might as well
Correct.
take someone who already knows how to do the job, who already knows our culture, who already gets our standards, and plug them in over there for the betterment not only of the business but for the individual and making them a better piece of talent. And so I like the inference there as well. Cool. Thanks, Zade. I appreciate you offering that. Mark says both of you guys make a great first impression, always smiling and approachable. I
Thank
think
you,
that's
Mark.
key.
Yeah.
Why not smile? Your face has to do something. Why not smile? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jose, this is a lot of
Yeah.
fun, as usual.
Hmm.
You want to play a little quick game with me?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. We're going to play a little game called Overrated, Underrated. Do you know how to
Okay.
play the game?
Uh, I guess I just would you tell me something and I tell you if it's overrated or if it's underrated? Okay.
Except
Perfect.
I also get to tell you if you're correct.
Oh, okay.
Twist.
I will politely fight with you, but okay.
Yes, I love a good polite fight. Let's polite fight. So if something's underrated or if it's overrated, and then we're gonna fight politely,
Yes.
respectfully. Overrated, underrated. First one up, the Aperol Spritz.
Oh my God, overrated, like totally overrated.
I agree. I think sometimes we have this situation in bars or something where everyone orders the same drink, whether it's a vodka soda or an Aperol Spritz, even the espresso martini, which I do
Yeah.
love, is becoming when there's something like a Carajillo or a Hugo Spritz or something that shows a little bit more expressiveness and maybe a little bit more intentionality about what you're really trying to accomplish. I agree.
Okay, well you're good. Like you're good so far. 10 points.
So I'm gonna grade you, and then you're gonna grade me grading you. I like this. Very good. Very good. Okay, next one. Meetings that could have been an email.
Oh my God, overrated, like totally overrated.
Yeah, this is how I met Tanya Maritini. We bonded over a slide at WERC, and it was this meeting could have been an email, and it was like a pin. It was like something that you wear on your yeah. This is great. Yeah, totally. Meetings that could have been an email. Melody says fight, fight, fight. What's up, Mel? Let me ask you a question though about that.
Yes.
How do you know when a meeting could have or should have been an email?
So usually, basically, is whenever they already know what they want, whenever they everything, all the decisions have been made, and they are just informing you about the next step or the next thing for you to do. I feel why do you waste my time if there is already a decision path there? Just send me the information and I'll work on it. Now, if the meeting is to decide the next path, to decide what we are going to do. And I do have the option to speak. I'll say, let's do a meeting because back and forth emails, I don't like it. I just prefer to jump on it and talk to people. And sometimes, usually, I'll say, like we are back in the office all days, 5 days a week. And we jump on meetings in person. And sometimes I don't even send an email. I just go to my directors or my CHR office. Hey, do you have 1 minute? And if you don't, I'm here. So can you help me? And to me, it's easier that way because
Yeah.
I get their attention quickly and I can get something done immediately without the need to start sending an emails back and forth. And if they have a question, they ask me, I answer and they say, yes, I'm fine, move forward. So that makes my life easier. Even if I
Totally.
will say, like, if you ask me, going back to the office, I will say 100% overrated. I do think that sometimes it makes my life easier because I'm able to get things and to do things quickly because I have everyone there that needs to be there and I can just get their agreement real quickly.
Yes, I'm a big fan of that. I love the pop in. Hey, you got a minute, real quick? I love that
Hmm.
pop in. It's so good. It's never misconstrued. I do think sometimes there's emails that should have been a meeting, right? Where
Correct.
it's like, hey, this is
Correct.
delicate. People are gonna have questions about this. Let's like talk face to face. I think people should start throwing out 5 minute meetings, 10 minute meetings. I don't think everything has to be a 30 minute block either. I think there's a
I
lot
agree.
of, we can let's tighten that up a little bit.
It
All
can be
right,
just a
awesome.
quick check-in.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go. Next one up. 2 for 2. Let's go. Simplicity.
Simplicity is underrated.
Yeah. It's interesting because I've been simplifying some things you say. This program, and you've corrected me. Like, listen, that might be an oversimplification, Ben. I love simple. I love simple stories. I love metaphors. Man, I do love simplicity, though. My team will tell you it's like, hey, let's get that email down to 3 sentences. Can we do that? Yeah, I think it's underrated. Also,
Yeah,
let's
and I
go.
think people think that when things are simple, that makes it easier or that makes it no. simple things is what you need. And especially like I was saying, like if your program is so complex that you don't know how to manage, you need to do a step back, see what is happening, and try to make it simple. Because to me, in order for me to know that something is working, my ATP entry level employee and my executive, if I ask them about the program, they should be able to get me the same information about the program, no matter if you are just entering the company or if you are at the top level of the company. So that to me lets me know that something is working. If they don't even know how to explain or how to define it, I'm like, oh, we have issues. Like we need to rethink what we are doing.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I love that. You should be able to explain something simply if you really understand it. That's fantastic. We got a couple thoughts here. Rob's coming in talking about our meetings thing here. Jamie's saying, yeah, those meetings are overrated. Rob saying emails should be to inform, meetings should be to discuss and decide. I
Agree.
love that. I think that's fantastic. Rob says we also need to make some hybrids, like training on a new system. Make the training happen before the meeting on people's own time, like self-directed, and then have a
Yeah.
meetings for the Q&A afterwards.
That makes sense.
That's interesting. Rob's pretty smart up there. All right, let's keep it moving here. 3 for 3. Overrated, underrated, champagne.
Oh my God, that's totally underrated. Like champagne can never be overrated, ever.
I don't think we drink
And if
enough.
you
I don't think we drink enough
okay,
champagne.
perfect.
I think we
Ben,
need to drink more champagne.
are you scared of me, Ben? Everything has been good with me so far. We haven't fight. You know what? I like you. I'm not going to go a daisy on you and say, where are the messages, Ben? I'm not going to do that.
I might be a little scared of you, but I also think you're right. I'll fight with you on the next one, maybe. But I also think you're right. I think we need to drink more champagne. Listen, I'm a whiskey guy, beer. But every time I have a glass of champagne, I'm like, damn, that's good. And then the bottle's gone. And I'm like, shit,
And
why
it
don't I
doesn't,
drink
like
this
you
more
say,
often?
it doesn't need to be expensive. Like you
No.
can have good champagne and it doesn't need to be expensive.
I'm a big fan. I'll drink any kind of variety of wine, but I need it for under $20 a bottle. I just can't understand. Like I know where it's all going to end up, and it needs to be $20 or less. Okay, I'm call me cheap, whatever, But yeah, champagne underrated. Let's go. Next one up, last one. Kindness and leadership.
That's underrated. Totally underrated to me.
Let's fight.
Overrated. Overrated. Why? Now I need to hear you. Why?
Well,
Like give
first,
me
I'm
a
just
proper
fighting with you.
explanation.
First, I just want to fight with you. Second of all, I think this is such a cop out. This is such a softball question, right? Who's going to say kindness is overrated? Me. That's who. Okay.
Well,
No, I
you know
think.
what? There might be people that think, but it also depends on the context, on the way that you are, on the industry that you are. But to me, sometimes I always say that one of the top qualities that you need to have on leadership is curiosity, because you need to always things change all the time, so you need to be curious to be able to continue evolving. But I also say that you need to be kind, because in order for you to understand what is happening with your people and what is happening with the people that you are moving, at least in the mobility environment, you need to be kind. Because if you are not kind, an employee can come to you complaining about something that, yes, maybe initially to you is like, dude, we are paying you everything. Like, why are you complaining for that? But you don't know what that person is happening at that moment and what that move is bringing to that person. So that's what I always
Yeah.
try to do: a step back, think, and say, what will happen if it was me? And I was like, you know what? Actually, it makes sense. Let me try to help.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, the empathy thing and all that, and trying to really ask myself, why is this person acting this way? What is happening here? What must they be going through and all that? And that takes a lot of maturity, I think, and it takes a lot of life experiences. But you know what? I agree with Melody, right? Kindness and leadership's overrated. Give me tequila. She might have been talking about champagne, but we're going to assume she's talking about kindness and leadership. No, but okay, here I was arguing with you just to argue with you, but I will say this. I think niceness is overrated. I think we put too much emphasis on, oh, they're nice. Are they nice? Are they?
Oh, true.
And I think clear is kind. Brene Brown said that once. Clear is kind. I love people. I love my people.
Mhm.
I'm not always nice. You know, they'll tell you that. I'm not always nice. Sometimes I can be kind of a dick, to be honest with you. But I do always care about them, and I do always want what's best for them. So I hope in that way I'm kind, and I try to be empathetic, although sometimes they'll tell me I'm not, which they're probably right about. But I think there's a place for not being nice. And I know you're saying kind, and I think kind's the right word here.
Exactly.
But I think there's a time for not necessarily being nice all the time, and that's probably my only argument here.
No, and you're right. Being underrated, yes, that's true.
Yeah, and you do this well. Well, thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. I pretend to be a mean person sometimes, just for entertainment purposes.
It's just for show.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you. This is great. You know, 5 points for Jose here. 5 points for Jose, and it's
And I
overrated,
did 10
underrated.
to you. Come on, man. Yes, you know what? Yes, you are not nice. I got you. I got you. You are not nice.
Well, I didn't know these were 2-pointers. Oh, fine, sure. 10 points for Jose. New record achieved, unlocked here for Jose. You got the applause. Nice job, Sharina. Fantastic. Love it. Jose, this has been so much fun. I can't wait to see you in person again.
Yes, we need to see each other soon. Last time that you guys were here, it was really a really fun thing that we did. Really, really nice event.
Yeah, it was. And next time you're in Dallas, maybe I'll cook you a steak, huh?
Oh, yeah. After you explain to me all that you do, like that steak sounds amazing. After I hear you saying about wine, it needs to be. I'll get the wine. Just get the wine to me. I'll get the wine. You don't need to do nothing with the wine. I'll get it. You got me. I'll get it. You do the steak. I'll do the wine.
Maybe on the drive up, you could stop at Buc-ee's and get something nice.
Yes. When you told me that it was there, I was like, "Do they have games with the beaver? Like, I need it."
I'll text you a picture. I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. Hey, and follow us on Glomo's Instagram, Glomo_consulting on Instagram. We got a QR code in the top left here. We put a lot of videos. We actually have a video from Relo Palooza that we just dropped today. So we got some good stuff up there, and maybe even some pictures of Camus at Buc-ee's we'll put up there. So follow us on Glomo on Instagram. Jose, it was awesome seeing you, buddy. I can't wait to do it again sometime.
No, thank you for the invite. It was great as always. Great show, like good conversation, good questions. Really, really happy that you invite me. Finally, I know Daisy was sending me messages all over the place that I never got, but it is what it is.
Sharina, we got to give Sharina all the credit. She made it happen. I couldn't make it happen. I've been trying for years. Daisy's been sending messages all over the place. Can't make it happen. Sharina comes in, boom, right off the bat.
One email immediately. One email. It was just one email. She got everything done.
There you go. Props to Sharina. Thanks, everybody. We will see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, team.